checking out the Sportsline Podcast on our CHCH and Parrot Media platforms. I'm Bubba O'Neill. As we like to say in these parts, if you can make it in Hamilton, Halton, and Niagara, you can make it anywhere. And it's those athletes, teams, executives, and broadcasters who've rightfully earned the spotlight on the Sportsline Podcast. Well, the development of high-level athletes begins and ends with outstanding guidance and instruction. La-Rose Wellness and Basketball in Burlington is a collaborative that promotes physical literacy, physical fitness, and overall wellness for girls and boys aged 4 to 10. With mentorship from his parents and older siblings, Michael La-Rose excelled provincially in basketball and track and field. Joanna La-Rose is a certified nutritionist and is focused on fine-tuning mental and physical well-being while boosting confidence. To talk about their programs, lessons, and life a little bit, happy to welcome Michael La-Rose as well as Joanna La-Rose to the Sportsline Podcast. And little Hayden just decided to join us. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
You know, Michael, we hadn't seen each other in so long. We're kind of in the same age group. I always remember you as the central athlete, stud athlete, one of the guys, and when I went to Assumption that we always had to contend with. I didn't play basketball, but obviously I was around a lot of the basketball guys, and the word was out about you, and of course your family as well too. So I just kind of want to go back into your family. Like, you have long been established in Burlington, even longer than myself, as a sporting family. A little bit about your family.
Definitely. Thank you for having us here. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, my family, back in the late 60s, we ended up in Burlington. I have there's five of us in the family. My eldest brother Garfield, and then Charlotte, my brother Kevin, myself, and then my youngest brother Rogers. There were five of us. And throughout the 80s, we were provincial track champions at a very young age. Myself, by the age of 10, I had already won provincial championships. And it was amazing. It was hard to just be in that family and compete. We competed so much. Mm-hmm. And I was a 400, 800 meter runner, and I turned to that because all my older siblings were sprinters. Mm-hmm. I remember my oldest brothers competing against Donovan and O'Neill Bailey. Mm-hmm. Great family, obviously, from Oakville. And like yourself, from Oakville, there were very few of us. It was great growing up in Burlington.
Well, and you went to Central High School, yes. And again, you had another brother as well too that played a lot of basketball. And I think that's where I got to learn a little bit about you. Mm-hmm. Why the love for basketball as a track guy?
As a track guy, so yeah, grew up in track, but basketball. I went to Carleton University for just after high school for my first year, and that's where I fell in love with basketball. Before that, I was just a track guy, I started basketball late. Most kids, like with our program, started age 4, and I didn't start until about age 13. And but I found this passion for it, and we always watched the NBA, but I just became a student of the game. And after going to Carleton, I realized I wanted to play more, but I wasn't very focused. Just partying, enjoying the university lifestyle. Yeah. And so after that, I ended up dropping out and just kind of taking a year off. And then I went to Mohawk College, kind of renewed my passion for basketball. And, it's kind of went from there. After that, I ended up at McMaster University. Joe Razzo gave me a great opportunity, great basketball coach, legend in the area. And he gave me a chance to be his video coordinator there. And I took them out of the VHS tape into the digital world. And that kind of expanded my mind into seeing basketball differently, because now I was analyzing basketball from video. And that's really what you have to do to excel at another level, right? It's like one of the main teaching tools that we have, that we use. And, basically my basketball IQ improved, and that grew my love for basketball. And it's just expanded from there.
And you and I mean, the West Indian parents that kind of give you a little bit of roots for your parents. And it really did start with your parents, did it not? They too were heavily involved in sports.
Definitely. Both my mom and dad were athletes as well. I remember my dad growing up, he had this one little trophy trophy that he won for track, and he just held on to it. But it was really funny. But and as an older athlete, he's a Masters champion. He had won all kinds of events by the time when he was 80.
Still going.
Still going. Still going. My grandfather, bless his heart, had lived to be 98. So a lot of longevity there. I see my dad probably living a long time, and he takes care of himself. My mom recently passed just in the last few years, but was an athlete as well. And growing up, watching both of them, excel at sports and just take part really got us all into fitness. Yeah.
Joanna, you're kind of the same path. I mean, a little bit different. You're not from the immediate area, but a little bit about your story when it comes to sports.
Well, I definitely have a different turn on it. So I grew up in Meaford, Ontario, very outdoorsy. With my mom, and there were 4 of us. And my older sister, was always outside, always hiking, and I actually learned a lot about wellness. So I went to school at Sheridan College in Brampton for correctional work, because the description was to help others. And it had always been a passion, even from a child. My mom had some struggles with mental health, and I knew the importance of having good, strong people in your life and relationships. So I went to school for that. And actually, when I met Michael, I had been 20 years as a youth counselor already, working with females. And so I learned all about wellness, and then I branched out to learn about nutrition and taking care of the whole body. So not just the mind, but everything. And when we met, we had talked a lot about having a family business, because we wanted to live as entrepreneurs and raise our own kids. So we incorporated the wellness, and did summer camps was how we started with young kids. And I carried a journal with all of them, taught them about gratitude. We did yoga activities while we braked in between our basketball, and really tried to teach them the importance of taking care of yourself while having a love for sport. And I think that's been a really big part of what we do with the kids. And then we started during COVID. So that was a huge time.
It's a hard time to be starting a business.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we said this is a time where a lot of things are on pause. And I took a lot of nutrition courses at that time. I took my coaching certification at that time. Michael had already coached me a lot in the fundamentals of basketball, but we had all the time in the world. So we really spent a lot of time doing that, and just really developed everything and put it all together, so that when everything opened up, we were ready to go.
Right.
And this guy started with us at 6 months. So he grew up on the court, and now our twins, just over a year old, they came with me from the hospital to visit the place where we were running our program, and they started coming from 6 weeks. So we really want to incorporate the kids into what we're doing, and that's been, like you said, family is a huge thing. That's the most important thing for me, is raising our kids in such a strong, healthy, active environment.
Well, that's a great lead into where I kind of want to go here, because I look at both of you guys and what you do in terms of your each individual high skills, and then you obviously the sports aspect, you've definitely the mind and the wellness aspect of it. Now, each one of you guys could easily teach high-level athletes in your case. Definitely. And I'm talking about people past their teenage years.
Yes.
You could do that easily. And you yourself, you could be focusing on 40-year-old women.
That's right.
On focusing on improvement of their life and their mind and their body and all those kind of things. Why? And I'll start here with you, Mike. Why kids? And I mean, I see what you're doing. Very, very young.
Yes,
right?
very young.
So why the kids?
I think, well, because of the kids, we actually started at age 7 and up. When we first started, we were at Decathlon Sports. Like Joanna had said, we started this in COVID. So when Decathlon opened up a few years later, we were ready to go. And we were there. We were doing ages 7 to 10. Things were going well, but all these parents kept asking us, do you have anything for ages 4 to 5, 4 to 6? And we're like, no, and they kept asking us. So we're like, we need to follow what they're asking us. They're asking us for that. Plus, we also do coach rep kids and kids that want to play at a higher level. But the opportunity is really with the younger kids, because the older kids, I was so sick of seeing the bad fundamentals. I'm like, we have to start at the ground roots, right? So the bad one-handed passing, like, you know, instead of the fundamentals. So our program is very technical, a lot of running and jumping and moving, teaching them how to move their body. But yeah, that's the main thing, is like just starting with the fundamentals is why we started, because these kids, I've seen too many kids take a soccer ball off the face or whatever, and they don't want to play soccer again. And so we use softballs and things like that, and just strong encouragement that if they do get hit, you're okay, you can get up, and just build up that confidence from a young age. And we've had kids now that have went on from our 4 to 6 program to our 7 to 10 program. So these people have stayed with us for years, and it's pretty amazing.
Joanna, do you think this is setting the plate for future success in your life when you get learning lessons this young?
Yes. So I was going to say it's twofold for me. In my counseling career, I was working with 12 to 18-year-old females that are in trouble with the law. So they had already missed out on having a really solid, strong foundation. And so I think having that young start is essential. I really think, for me, seeing the kids that are age 4, we've had kids come to our program and not even want to come out on the floor. And by the second, third session, they're on the floor running the drills with the parents all watching. So for me to see that confidence boost in kids is amazing and huge. And I never got to do sports like Michael did. I was always more focused on the taking care of myself, taking care of others. So for me to see the importance of sport is absolutely essential. Kids, and especially girls, need to be in sports, 100%.
What does sports teach you, do you think?
Oh, it teaches you so much, just about teamwork, just how relationships. This is where we build all our relationships. So, you know, the kids that we train, even the ones that want to go play university basketball, you know, it's not about trying to make the NBA. And there's a lot of coaches out there that can train those kids, and I can train those kids too. I'm confident in what I do. I've been doing this a long time. One thing I do is understand basketball, but I understand you got to start them young. You know what I mean? And a lot of these kids don't have those fundamentals at the older age. Because they're just trying to, you know, get to a certain level, but this is about life. And I think if, you know, these kids learn at a young age about, you know, just teamwork, working together, and that things don't always go your way. You get hurt, you fall down, you get up. These are things that we learn that are kind of missing now, and we're trying to bring it back. Like, I'm old school, so, you know.
I love old school.
Definitely. It's
I love old school. You know, I'll ask you this question here, Joanna, too, because it's a lot of information, I would think, in some ways, and I would think, how do you prevent any information overload for someone of that age?
We take everything kind of in small bites for the kids, and you always are watching, like, we do small group too, right?
Okay.
So the most kids that we've had in our session is 12 at a time, so very small classes. And just having a 4-year-old ourselves, we know they take pieces of information a little bit at a time, and you see how they're processing it. And it's like Michael says, it's not about them, you know, learning all the skills right away. It's teaching them just baby steps. How do I come to the class? How do I listen to the coach? How do I start socializing with the other kids in the program? All these things. How do I learn to use my voice in the class? We teach the kids to yell ball if the ball's coming, like the physical literacy of being in an active environment, right? And just one thing I wanted to touch on too is just about the importance of sport is the connection of family that we've had with others. We've had some amazing families that now we say are extended family. And the kids have grown up playing together. They watch each other develop. They see, oh my goodness, look at what you did months ago and now what you're doing now. So that's just been, for me, the most important part has been the relationships and the families.
I'll ask you a broad question, and we in sports, and Mike, you can relate to this, we get into buzzwords, right? Sometimes these words in sports that maybe not everyone understands, but someone in sports would definitely understand.
Yes.
This is maybe a strange question, Joanna, but what is wellness?
It would be different for everyone, I would think. Ultimately, the word that comes to mind is peace. And I used to always say okayness. Like, things seem okay. You know, like I have the strength and the power to manage something difficult that comes because I'm sitting at a place of peace and wellness. And I think it's challenged every single day, right? By the stressors in life, by all kinds of things. And it's all about a practice of taking care of yourself each day and just feeding that, whatever it is that day you need, right? A little balance is as well a big part of wellness, I think. But having, taking care of yourself, being active, eating well, and having a connection of close people, to me are like the foundation of it.
So, Michael, when you guys met each other and obviously had these sort of similar ways of thinking, like,
in the same apartment, no, Chew. I moved in beside him.
Oh, wow.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah.
Like a gift. Like
Yeah.
from my.
I hate to put it this way. Did you I hit the jackpot?
Definitely. Well, we're both believers in everything in life happens for a reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? And us meeting later in life, I just knew it was meant to happen. You know, my eldest brother, my youngest brother both passed away at earlier ages. And that was devastating to me. So I didn't know that I would even wanted to have my own kids. And now I have two twin girls who are just over 1 and a young guy who's just 4. And it's been an amazing journey. And I just realized we all have our own path to follow. But for Joanna and I, when we met, and I understood, like, she just comes from a different place of thinking, and I thought it meshed perfectly, because what I do with the basketball, and it's more than basketball, obviously, it's really about helping these kids, preparing them for life, and that's why I think we mesh well together, because she's also bringing in a lot of girls as well, and it just gives it a different voice, and we're trying to keep girls in sports as well, and having 2 young girls is that we have, like, I want to see them excel in all kinds of life. So this is the foundation. So it starts with, like, just really athletics, just taking care of yourself, nutrition, like you said. The nutrition part is a part that's really missing, and I think that that's something that Joanna brings in as well, that really helps with what we're doing. So,
where do you run these programs, or is this something in-house, or like how do you set up the programs so that everyone can get out there? And then, as you said, you're generally serving the Burlington area.
You got it. So we started, in like Joanna said, in like 2020 when COVID hit, and we started outside because nothing was open. So, and a few parents had asked us to help their kids because of their mental health was going down and there was nothing going on. This was all new for all of us. So we started outside with a few kids, and then next thing we know, we're training one day, and a lady came and she was training at another basket with like 6 kids, and we're like, what's going on over there? And she came over to us after and said, she goes, hey, what are you guys doing? We're saying, well, we train kids and whatever. And she goes, can you train my kids? And next thing you know, we had like almost 10 kids, and one of the kids, this was 5 years ago, he works with us still. So that's what she was talking about, building relationships and having these families. Like, it's been 5 years, and this kid's now 14 years old. Wow. And and he plays rep basketball, and this is why we do it, right? To build these relationships. But so we run our programs. So after everything opened up, we saw Decathlon Sports in Mapleview Center. Okay. They had a sign that said, are you a coach? They were looking for people to run their space. And we thought this is perfect because we couldn't find anything. Nobody was insuring anybody in the kind of fitness industry, and there wasn't anything available. So we went, we talked to them. They loved our idea. We researched Decathlon Sports. They're the largest sporting goods retailer in the world from France. So we're thinking this is amazing. And they had a 1,300 square foot space in there. And we went in there, and it had been 3.5 years that we've been running our program there. So fast forward to about 2 months ago, actually on our daughter's birthday, June 24th, Decathlon informed us that they were going to be closing all their GTA stores within 60 days. So that was a big shocker to us. Okay. So we were literally now having to find space. So we've been on this real estate journey of trying to find our own space. That was always the plan, to have somewhere we could call our own home. We've checked out with the community centers as well. So moving forward, forward, we do have some temporary locations lined up. We're going to be at the Brown Hills Community Center, and Joanna has the dates for that. But we're going to be running out of there until we can find a home of our own. And the great thing about our program that parents love is that we have small groups, 10 kids or less sometimes. A lot of times these kids don't even show up. So there could be 6 kids in a class, which provides more opportunity for those kids. And then so we're now looking at Brant Hills Community Center. After that, we're hoping to open up our own space, but we only run our programs, we run them every 4 weeks. So that gives parents an opportunity to put a small investment rather than having to invest in 8 or 12 weeks like most programs, and then their kids don't like it and then they're out that money. With us, it's only 1 month, 4 weekends. So parents can definitely find us at Brant Hills Community Center. We start, you have the dates for that.
September 21st, so it's on Sundays from 1 to 2 for ages 4 to 6, and then from 2 to 3 for ages 7, and we actually bumped it up to 11 just to give some extra kids the opportunity to come.
It's funny you said 11, and I thought about this 10-year-olds, 11-year-old. I'm trying to picture 10 and 11-year-olds because I think they're a little different than when we were 10 or 11 years old.
Yes, they are.
Definitely.
I mean, how do they take to teaching? Do you feel like they take to teaching as well too?
They love Michael. They love him. Yeah. They take everything
we have a
he
program,
says.
Yeah, like we're not for everybody because our programs are very technical, and a lot of the kids we get aren't basketball kids. These are kids that were literally either on computers or doing other things, and they came into our program and we taught them basic fundamentals. And it's amazing because some of them shoot better than our kids that we train that are 14 years old that are rep. Right. They just have better form because they've never learned anything different. Whereas the older kids were correcting things. So a lot of these kids, the age 10 and 11, it's, that's a different age, and especially because the last 5 years they've been going through the COVID. So some of these kids are different, but it's changed their lives because these are now kids that can go to the other basketball programs that are usually about 50 or 100 kids, and they can not feel out of place.
Right.
Whereas these kids usually would be the ones where they come out for gym class, they try it, and they're one of the worst ones, so they're like, I don't want to do that again. And there's no reason. We can all learn at any age. So, and that's what these kids are learning. And the parents love it because now these kids, a lot of them that would have never played basketball are trying out for teams at their public schools and stuff, which is amazing. And just the confidence of them wanting to try out has changed things. So.
And again, I don't want to be old man crying here, but I mean, I just get this sort of feeling that, that a lot of our youth, like and actually our age group kind of started it. Video games and like being inside, not being outside. And,
definitely.
I can now, I remember when we were kids, we would sit there and dream playing video games. Oh, maybe one day you can be at home and I can be at home and we can still play the same game together. That happened. We can do that right now. But that just also kind of goes everything against you guys are kind of teaching as well too.
Definitely.
Right? Have you noticed that we're getting back to being outside and back to our parents saying, no, a little bit less of that and a little bit more of what you guys are offering?
I think people are trying to do that. A lot of the families, like Michael said, they like the fact that we're only 4 weeks because they have to inch their kids into it, right? Because they are used to being inside, used to being on screens. And this gives them a way to have let's try it out. And then they like it and they keep coming. But you're right, there's so many parents who now they're trying to dial it back and be like, come on, let's play outside more. Like we were outside all day until the sun went down and then you came in. So I think definitely we're hearing a lot of more parents understand the screen time, the impacts of it, right? But this little guy, that's what we wanted for him, was to be raised in an active environment. We want him to feel like that's just English for him. It's just normal. And so do you want to tell Bubba what you have on your wall?
Yeah, I have a a dream big sign on my wall.
Yes.
Dream big.
So he has a dream board that he created on his own.
Okay.
And it says dream big
Dream big.
with number 23 on it.
Number 23 on it.
That's right. And he's colored it and he sees it every day. So we want that for him. And if we can do that for other kids, you know, have them just connect to something active. They don't have to go to the NBA. Maybe they won't, but play for their school, play for university, right? Find something to be active.
I'm not.
Yeah. Or
Well,
just
think about it, Mike. Like some of the high school memories, maybe some of the best.
Amazing.
And we could just, I could talk about some of my high school friends
Oh.
for days and hours. I mean,
Find it.
when we
Got
get
it.
together, right? It's
Exactly.
just, these are special moments. And I think the more that we have these kind of special moments, the better, which is amazing.
Definitely.
Because, you know, I can think of a time, Michael, as you kind of talked about this, that I can think about you come home from school and like in the winter time and you get your hockey stick and we were on the road until either mom called to come have dinner, maybe we had dinner and then went back out until the sun went down.
Definitely.
And it just wasn't everything. Or throwing the foot, in my case, a lot of football, a lot of touch football, running up and down, that kind of stuff. And it just seems so normal as a part of life and playing right until the sun shone. That was, I don't know if it was because that was the only thing we had to do, but
Definitely.
but we loved it. And I have great memories of that
Without a
being a
doubt.
kid. And that's so amazing that you guys are reinstating that mindset for these kids because we're in a world right now, guys, with a lot of choices.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of choices for kids nowadays, and that's great that you're kind of fine-tuning some alternate ways of thinking as well too. Just the last thing I'll ask you too, what about like coaches? Like in your case too,
Yes.
with the sports aspect of it. Do you feel like coaches are maybe understanding that this is a smart way to sort of approach with kids as well too?
Yeah, I think they're starting to see it because like there's been this big talk about like kids going to AAU and trying to play that route and they're not getting enough practice time. There's just too many games. So, you know, I think coaches understand like these kids need fundamentals. They need to work on their fundamentals, you know, and just practice more. Just too many games, and I think it's going to go back that way. You know, they're obviously everything they say goes in cycles, and you know, we have a lot of great coaches out there. I love seeing what Victor Razzo is doing, you know, out with the Niagara River Lions. Like, that's
Two-time
amazing.
champion now.
You know what I mean? Like I was there the year before, you know, he came to McMaster and played for his dad, and just to see his growth, like that's amazing. But I see how hard these people work. You know what I mean? Paula Schnurr is another one, a good, great friend of my sister's, and you know, we were in the same track club, and just watch her growth and to see her excel and reach that pinnacle. Like I've seen how hard these people work. It's pretty amazing.
Well, it's pretty amazing what you guys are doing, and to see it from at least my very own eyes with the video, and of course your son Hayden and what he's clearly being taught. It's an amazing thing that you guys are doing. We'll do whatever we can here. Anytime you guys have programs or you need someone to talk, someone to let the community know, or please keep in contact, right?
Thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
Again,
much.
it's amazing. La-Rose basketball wellness. It's something special, and I'm not trying to cause competition for you guys, but I hope more people get on board on this way
Definitely.
of thinking because it means so much to our youth. And as I become an old man and kind of figure out that wow, as you guys already know because you have kids, it really does start with the youth. So
Definitely.
Thank you so much for what you're
very
doing.
welcome. And it is about competing, and we don't mind the competition because that's what's been lost, right? And so the competition, we welcome it, right? It's all about
Because
the
no one does it better than you do.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
To Michael, Joanna, thank you so much for joining us in the
Thank you
Sports
for
Line
having us,
Podcast
Bob.
this evening. Good luck with what you guys are doing. It's
Pleasure,
wonderful
brother.
things.
Thank you so much.
Well, folks, that's your Sportsline Podcast for the day. And you've just seen and heard, we love talking sports, especially people that are starting out with the kids, right? That's where it does start. If you do know of an athlete, team, or event to promote the Sportsline Podcast, you want to hear from you. Please hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe button. And if you have something to say, we always appreciate your comments. For the outstanding people that make the Sportsline Podcast possible, thank you so very much. And we'll see you real soon.